Moinsen Leute und herzlich willkommen zurück zu einer weiteren neuen Folge dem zu Devil May Cry. Ich hab's auch gerade, ne? Mit Dragon Age Inquisition. Wie oft will mir das doch passieren? Beides fängt mit D an. Und wir sind bei Dorian. Wir haben bei Dorian aufgehört und haben ihn ausgefragt über das Reich des Winters. Haben rausgefunden, wie gut er eigentlich aussieht, wie gut er gekleidet ist. Nom nom nom, zum Vernaschen der Junge. So, und wir haben noch sehr viele Fragen offen. Wir fangen direkt mal an mit der Sklaverei.
Anyone who talks about the Imperium mentions slavery. It's the center of the slave trade.
Ah, that is true.
And did you have slaves?
Not personally, but my family does and treats them well. Honestly, I never thought much about it until I came south. Back home, it's how it is. Slaves are everywhere. You don't question it. I'm not even certain many slaves do.
Was fragen wir denn jetzt? Also sagen wir denn? Wollt ihr sagen, sie mögen es? Gute
You think
Frage.
slaves like it that way? Don't be ridiculous.
I didn't say they like it. It's all most of them know. In the south, you have alienages, slums, both human and elven. The desperate have no way out. Back home, a poor man can sell himself. As a slave, he could have a position of respect, comfort, and could even support a family. Some slaves are treated poorly, it's true. But do you honestly think inescapable poverty is better?
Zumindest haben sie eine Wahl, ne?
At least they're free. They don't have slavery forced on them.
You think people choose to be poor and oppressed? I doubt it. I don't know what it's like to be a slave, true. I never thought about it until I saw how different it was here. But I suspect you don't know either. Nor should you believe that every tale of Tevinter excess is the norm.
Gut, wir sind unterschiedlicher Meinung, Dorian. Ich meine, ein Arbeitsloser der heutigen Zeit hat auch die Entscheidung, zu Hause zu sitzen oder sich einen Job zu suchen, eine Ausbildung oder sonst so. Also, oder was weiß ich. Es gibt genügend Möglichkeiten, auch für einen Sklaven in eurem Reich.
There's an Imperial Chantry, isn't there? With its own divine.
You people aren't supposed to talk about the Black Divine, are you? If you mention him outside the Imperium, people make that face, like you're urinating in public. But yes, we do have the Chantry, or a version of it. Night and day comparing it to yours.
Okay. Dann fragen wir mal zu der. Ist sie wirklich so anders?
Is the Imperial Chantry so different from
Schließlich
ours?
haben wir Andraste.
Not in theory. The main difference is in the whole magic is meant to serve man, not rule over him business. Back home, ruling the unwashed masses is serving them, for the good of the Imperium. Perhaps it started with good intentions, but these days it's academic. The circles are in command.
Die haben Zirkel?
There are circles of magi in the Imperium.
We don't have dismal little mage prisons, if that's what you mean. They're academies, prestigious ones. We have Templars as well, but they don't cancel spells or whatever your Templars do. They're soldiers.
They don't use lyrium.
Ha! As if there'd be any left for them. They watch for abuse of magic, yes, but only those who are weak or who fall out of favor get dealt with. Mostly they enforce their magisterium's edicts. The Chantry smiles and nods from the sidelines.
Do you really call him the Black Divine?
We don't call him that, oh no. In the Imperium, he's the true divine. The woman sitting on the sunburst throne is some backwater pretender. It all stems from a disagreement over Andraste. Marvelous, isn't it?
Wenn ihr vielleicht gerade im Hintergrund eine Tür gehört habt. Mein Vater ist nach Hause gekommen von der Arbeit. Einfach mal kurz reinschauen und gucken. Naja, ich glaube, das stört keinen, oder? Finde ich in Ordnung. Hallo sagen ist wohl keine Schande, oder?
Why would they disagree over Andraste?
It's not my field of expertise, but the Imperium believes Andraste was a mortal woman, a mage. Down south they say, no, she's the bride of the Maker, ascended to his side, divine provenance, a blah blah blah. We feel better believing Andraste was one of us. Makes executing her less damning, you see. So we elected a man as divine, the South declared war, and we've been feuding cousins ever since.
Das hört sich schon leicht lächerlich an.
So the Imperial Divine is always a man.
All the better to distinguish him from that other one, yes. Don't think there aren't a number of female magisters who bristle at that. Why can't they be divine after all? Same reason you never see a man on the sunburst throne. Because that's how it's always been done. Excellent reasoning.
Oh Mann, das ist schon irgendwie lächerlich. So ein unnötiger religiöser Streit, finde ich. Da muss man sich nicht drüber streiten und dann gleich verfeindet werden. Naja.
Do you consider yourself Andrastian?
The big question. It might surprise you that I do consider myself Andrastian. I simply do not believe in the Chantry. It is a relic, whether back home or here in the south. Something from a bygone age desperately clinging to relevance. It's not an opinion that makes me popular.
Irgendwie schon, ne?
I share your opinion, actually.
That's not surprising, considering what the Inquisition represents. I'll say this. I may not believe in the Chantry, but I believe in you.
In me?
That the Maker sent you, whether through Andraste or fate. Cassandra is not wrong. You are what we needed most at the moment we needed it. That's what they will say in ages to come.
Ja, ist irgendwie wahr, ne? Also, wir haben schon einige Wunder vollbracht.
That's true. I feel the same.
My, someone's full of themselves, aren't they?
I was just agreeing with you.
Don't agree on my account. A little doubt wouldn't harm the Herald of Andraste. Me? I've seen too much to believe I know everything. The world is bigger than I. Even bigger than you. It laughs at all the things we think we know. The Maker doesn't need me to believe. But I do. The thought of no one at all watching out for us is too frightening.
Ich bin ein
Let me ask
Optimist-Dorian.
you something else.
So many questions.
Erzähl mal über die Verbündete Winter.
I'm wondering if the Imperium would be a useful ally.
I'd think you'd be more concerned whether or not they'd support the Venatori. They won't, of course. At least, not officially. They'll disavow all knowledge of dangerous cultists. Secretly, many magisters will rejoice at the idea. And if the South falls to chaos in the meantime, all the better.
It would be in the Imperium's best interest to help. Surely it could use allies.
I think the Imperium gave up on the idea of allies a long time ago. We've been fighting the Qunari for what, 200 years off and on? It's a point of pride that we go it alone. They'll sneer at the South behind their silk handkerchiefs and say, "You've had it easy for far too long." Let's not forget that the Inquisition seems to be an arm of the Orlesian Chantry. Anathema so far as they're concerned.
Das sieht vielleicht das Volk. Das ist wohl klar. Aber wir haben uns anfangs gegen die Kirche gegründet. Und die Kirche ist meilenweit nicht auf unserer Seite. Auch nicht die orlesianische und auch nicht die fereldische. Also... Sorry, Dude.
We're not part of the Chantry. The Chantry opposed the Inquisition's formation.
You think that matters? Don't be silly. The Herald of Andraste. Your very title smacks of the Southern Chantry. You may as well be a heathen. I think they're far more frightened what you'll do if you succeed.
Ha. Wie gesagt, sie werden alle auf den Knien hocken später und mich feiern.
Just how often is blood magic used there?
Oh, not at all.
Not at all.
That's what any magister would tell you. They'd be convincingly offended by the notion too. Of course, what people call blood magic here and what we consider blood magic are two different things.
Aha. Also hier wird das ja immer meistens eher ausgenutzt und für böse Machenschaften und so weiter.
What's considered actual blood magic in Tevinter?
Blood magic isn't inherently dangerous. Using your own blood or that of a willing participant, what's the harm? The problem is that what's permitted only gets you so much power. And what if you need more? You always need more. That's where we get into sacrifices and demon summoning. None of that is done. Not officially. Behind closed doors, it's a different story. Real blood magic can give you an edge, a leg up against your opponents. It's safe to assume that any mage of rank does it. The rest are quietly shut out of power, to put it bluntly.
Aha.
You'd think the Templars would object.
I imagine they did, long ago. Once, their investigations might have been sincere. Then their balls were cut off. Too inconvenient. Nowadays, only the friendless are accused. Most of them probably innocent.
Ich wollte gerade sagen, da ist niemand dagegen.
There must be some mages who oppose this.
Of course. I do. And I'm not entirely alone. Occasionally, there'll be a magister who makes noise. And then the reform talk begins. All very patriotic. Meanwhile, that magister will be quietly shunned. Chances are, surprise, it's learned he was a Maleficar all along. Most learn to keep quiet. Me? I enjoy the allure of pariahhood.
Das glaube ich dir. Vielleicht ein ausgestoßener Tewinter, aber du kannst überall hinreisen, überall hingehen, außer Tewinter, aber das kennst du ja schon.
That's all I wanted to know.
Fair enough.
I should go.
Ja, da haben wir mit Dorian ordentlich eine Runde gequatscht. Wir gehen direkt zu Solus, der ist hier gegenüber. Dein Kinn ist woanders, wenn du in dein Kinn greifen willst zum Nachdenken. Das weißt du. Aber jetzt ist er beleidigt und auf einmal teleportiert er sich hinter meinen Rücken. Der will mich doch umbringen. Der will mich umbringen.
So we have gained the mages. Excellent. They should be able to seal the breach. You are certain you experienced time travel. Could it have been an illusion? A trick of the Fade?
Ich bin Magier, ich weiß es nicht, ich bin eine Pussy, also... Ja, Dorian ist sich sicher.
Dorian was sure, impossible as it seems.
What an amazing gift. It is vital the Inquisition succeed to avoid the future you witnessed.
Nochmal, ich war gerade nicht aktiv dabei. Was für eine bemerkenswerte Gabe. Es ist wichtig, dass die Inquisition siegt, um die Zukunft abzuwenden, die ihr gesehen habt. Ich finde es auf jeden Fall erschreckend.
So many were dead. More had been corrupted. Knowing what will happen if we fail.
I suggest we not fail. Speaking of which, you should ready yourself.
For?
This Elder One. You have now interfered with his plans twice. Once at the Temple of Sacred Ashes, and now again at Redcliffe. A being who aspires to godhood is unlikely to ignore such an affront.
Ey, hör auf, nicht mit mir zu reden. Erzähl
I'd
mal.
like to know more about you, Solus.
Why?
Ich will irgendwie das nicht sagen. Das ist so eine Arschkriecherei, das ist überhaupt nicht mein Stil. Ich glaube, das tut ihm mal gut.
You're an apostate. Yet you risked your freedom to help the Inquisition.
Not the wisest course of action when framed that way.
I appreciate the work you're doing, Solus. I just wanted to know more about you.
I am sorry. With so much fear in the air. What would you know of me?
Wo habt ihr studiert?
You said you traveled to many different places.
This world, or its memory, is reflected in the Fade. Dream in ancient ruins, and you may see a city lost to history. Some of my fondest memories were found in crumbling cities, long picked dry by treasure seekers. The best of the battlefields. Spirits press so tightly on the veil that you can slip across with but a thought.
Any place in particular?
I dreamt at Ostagar. I witnessed the brutality of the Darkspawn and the valor of the Ferelden warriors. I saw Alistair and the hero Ferelden light the signal fire, and Logain's infamous betrayal of Kaelin's forces.
I've heard the stories. It would be interesting to hear what it was really like.
That's just it. In the Fade, I see reflections created by spirits who react to the emotions of the warriors. One moment, I see heroic wardens lighting the fire, and a power-mad villain sneering as he lets King Kaelin fall. The next, I see an army overwhelmed and a veteran commander refusing to let more soldiers die in a lost cause.
You can't tell which is real.
It is the Fade. They are all real.
Aha. Ja, also das ist was er gerade erzählt hat, das ist der Anfang vom ersten Teil von Dragon Age. Kann ich nur empfehlen, den ersten Teil, der ist extrem gut. Alle Teile sind gut.
What made you start studying the Fade?
I grew up in a village to the north. There was little to interest a young man, especially one gifted with magic. But as I slept, spirits of the Fade showed me glimpses of wonders I had never imagined. I treasured my dreams. Being awake, out of the fade, became troublesome.
Did spirits try to tempt you?
No more than a brightly colored fruit is deliberately tempting you to eat it. I learned how to defend myself from more aggressive spirits, and how to interact safely with the rest. I learned how to control my dreams with full consciousness. There was so much I wanted to explore.
Das kann ich verstehen. Das ist so eine Welt, Soul ist, die nicht unbedingt jeder sehen kann, ne?
I gather you didn't spend your entire life dreaming.
No. Eventually, I was unable to find new areas in the Fade.
Why?
2 reasons. First, the Fade reflects the world around it. Unless I traveled, I would never find anything new. Second, the Fade reflects and is limited by our imaginations. To find interesting areas, one must be interesting.
Ha, ha, du Ego-Kerl, ey.
I wish you luck.
Thank you. In truth, I've enjoyed experiencing more of life to find more of the Fade.
How so?
You train your will to control magic and withstand possession. Your indomitable focus is an enjoyable side benefit. You have chosen a path whose steps you do not dislike because it leads to a destination you enjoy. As have I.
Ist er solo? Hihi. Nee, ich will nicht mit dem irgendwie Sachen
Have you
machen,
always
aber
traveled and studied alone?
ist interessant.
Not at all. I have built many lasting friendships. Spirits of wisdom, possessed of ancient knowledge, happy to share what they had seen. Spirits of purpose helped me search. Even wisps, curious and playful, would point out treasures I might have missed.
Cool.
I'm impressed that you could become friends with spirits.
Anyone who could dream
Ghostbusters.
has the potential. Few ever try. My friends comforted me in grief and shared my joy. Yet, because they exist without form, as we understand it, the Chantry declares that spirits are not truly people. Is Cassandra defined by her cheekbones and not her faith? Varric by his chest hair and not his wit?
Okay. Also, Geister sind schließlich irgendwie auch wiederum Seelen. Ob es gute Geister sind oder schlechte Geister, das kommt auf den Geist an, aber es sind auch irgendwie Seelen. Also ich finde, Geister sind schon Personen.
I hadn't thought about it that way. But I see your point.
Thank you. Few are willing to entertain such a notion.
Immer wieder gerne.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Gut, das war alles, was Solus so zu bereden hatte. Nun würde ich mal blöd behaupten, gehen wir zu Sarah. Mit der haben wir auch noch nicht so viel geredet.
Of course.
So, auf geht's, Sarah.
So, this is it, huh? Oh no, it's fine, yeah? It's just, I thought it'd be bigger. Hear that? I meant the stronghold, but it sounded like... Well, it's funny, right?
Ich verstehe deinen Witz.
Anyway, stopping wars should earn more sovereigns than this. Need things back to normal for coins to be flowing again. Another reason the Templars and Mages need to be sat down.
Es geht aber um eindeutig viel mehr.
It's not just a war between those two.
Well, sure, the sky has a hole in it, but I can't put an arrow in that. Well, I have. Doesn't come down. That's weird. And that's the point, right? It's weird and right there, but they still want to punch each other. They're too busy to look up where the real questions are.
Das ist schon klar, ne? Stimmt irgendwie. Magier und Templer prügeln sich gegenseitig kaputt und wir haben dann ein riesiges Loch im Himmel, wo Dämonen rauskommen. Damit hat Sarah vollkommen recht.
That's why we're here. To help guide everyone back from the brink.
The religious ones tell you that. That's important, right? But don't make it all about that. Seems like believing too hard is what got everyone here. And here is stupid and smells of horse. Really, what everyone needs is to get everything back to normal and proper and profitable. Sound good to you, all-chosen Lord Herald?
Ich finde, das klingt gut, weil, ja, auch in der Zeit des Terrorismus, auch wenn ich es wieder sage, es ist wichtig, viel wichtiger, einfach weiterzumachen. Es ist einfach, zu Hause einschließen und Angst haben bringt nichts. Damit hat sie komplett recht. Ich könnte natürlich, also ich will gerne, dass sie bleibt.
I think I'll enjoy having you around, Sarah. I hope you'll feel the same.
Not even. Get to work, Herald. I'm gonna go kick someone out of a bed.
Oh ja, die mag uns. Die mag uns. Ah, neue Sidequest mit ihr. Du hast doch bestimmt noch was
Well,
zu
that's
erzählen.
mages all over. So many robes, I bet all of Ferelden lost their curtains. I'll just be the other side of Haven. Just in case.
Erstmal Fragen. Fragen kostet nichts.
Do you have a problem with our new allies? With mages?
No problem with mages. You're fine, right? My
Siehste.
problem is magic. If mages sat on their hands, everything would be fine. You know it too, that's why you're shoving them up towers after. That's good, right?
Erzähl mal mehr von dir. Was haben wir hier? Ja, okay, das ist der langweilige Teil.
Tell me about yourself.
What about me?
Wer hat euch ausgebildet?
You're skilled. Who taught you how to use a bow?
No one.
That seems unlikely.
What? I picked it up here and there. Mostly it just makes sense. It's not like that for you.
Nicht unbedingt.
Usually it takes considerable discipline. Hence my question.
Hence. Look, I work at it. Practice a little. Not like Cullen and his pets. I mean, you miss, then you don't. Is it that hard to see when it's wrong?
Is it an elf thing?
Most I know couldn't find an arrow sitting on it. Right. Maybe I just make it look easy in shite company. Fact still is, no teacher. Where would I find one in alleyways anyway?
Das stimmt auch wieder. Wo kommst du denn her?
How about the basics? Where are you from?
Ferelden?
I got that from the accent. Where in Ferelden?
All over? Okay, fine. Denerim for a bit. South, north, wherever I want.
Oh, you're from wherever. I'm from north wherever.
What?
North wherever. Oh, we had fun on street and or in local tavern.
Oh, hardy ha. You. It's complicated. I don't like complicated. Let's leave it at that. Maybe.
Okay. Haust mal raus.
You're not like most of the elves I've met.
Thanks, right? Or was that an insult? Suppose I could go barefoot and whine more. Like that's soulless, right? Never be as good as we were. Well, who's we? I'm just fine.
I think there's more to it than that. A few thousand years more.
Hey, someone wants to be angry about old debts, be angry. Be a terror that never lets an enemy forget. But if you're digging it up so you can wear it, that's just weird. I mean, the Dalish don't really know. They have stories, but that's all they are. It's all fancy dress, not history.
Stimme ich irgendwie zu, Vergangenheit ist Vergangenheit.
If you say so.
Also ich sag mir ja auch immer persönlich, Vergangenheit ist Vergangenheit. Zukunft ist Zukunft. Was zählt, ist das Hier und Jetzt. Ist so meine Meinung. Viele können sie vertreten. Ich glaube, auch Albert Einstein sagte mal, ich glaube es. Mich interessiert die Zukunft genauso viel wie die Vergangenheit. Gar nicht. Oder irgendein Zitat war das von irgendeinem schlauen Kopf auf dieser Welt. Irgendwie so. Und das ist auch meine Meinung. Also man kann in der Zukunft rumgammeln, kann sich Pläne machen, man kann in der Vergangenheit sein und kann die ganze Zeit die Zukunft nicht sehen. Aber man kann träumen von Vergangenheit und Zukunft, aber nichts in der Gegenwart machen. Das ist blöd. Also die Gegenwart ist was Wichtiges. Und darin bin ich zumindest. Und das sind die Schlussworte des heutigen Videos. Wir sind durch mit dem Quatschen. In der nächsten Folge geht es ab mit unserer schönen Quest. Nicht mit Risse im Pfeilbruch, sondern mit Es möge brennen in deinem Herzen. Ich wünsche euch bis dahin einen wunderschönen Tag. Genießt das Wetter, geht nach draußen und bis dahin haut ihr rein.